To the Eastern Cape now, where kidnappings are on the rise. Almost 150 kidnappings have reportedly taken place since last year. Criminals behind these kidnappings have also shown no remorse to victims, even after receiving ransoms. Now, on Thursday, video footage showed a prominent East London businessman being kidnapped from his premises by 5 men. Ronald Masinda is monitoring this latest incident for us and joins us now live from the Eastern Cape and in East London particularly. Ronald, a prominent businessman, what do we know about him and what happened on Thursday?
Yes, indeed. We will get more details from the Border Kai Chamber of Business. But what we do know is that kidnappings are certainly on the rise here in the Eastern Cape. It is a vast province. A couple of months ago, we were also highlighting this particular issue in Alice, where business people were up in arms with regards to the scourge of these kidnappings. And what we know, Marcel, is that the reason why kidnappings are such on a rise is because it has become an easy crime to commit, given that a lot of the crimes that have been committed before are high risk, like cash in transit heists and other crimes. But for more, we are joined by the CEO of the Border Kai Business Chamber, Liesl Morris. Thank you so much, Liesl, for your time. I want to firstly know more information about what took place on Thursday.
You know, one of our businessmen in Amalinda Main Road in East London got kidnapped. And you can see clearly from the video footage how he was just shoved into a boot and then taken away. And it's becoming too close to home, you know, and our business people are afraid. You know, some business people are paying huge ransom money as protection fee. And, you know, you can already know that the economy has already been under a lot of strain. Our business people have taken spending lots of money on additional, you know, diesel for load shedding, as well as the increased cost of doing business with interest rate hikes, the cost of logistics. It's just gone way out of control, and now they have to think about additional monies for ransom. It's directly impacting our economy, particularly in the Eastern Cape and East London or Buffalo City region, because our unemployment rate is already high. So now our business people have to fork out money for ransom, where they could be expanding their business, you know, creating much needed jobs in our community. But now they have to pay ransom money, they have to pay protection fees, and that is not fair. And we're asking our Minister, Becky Cele, to do something about it. You know, learn from our Arab countries where visible policing is the order of the day. More and more police needs to be deployed in our streets. It's not 15,000 police is not enough. We need more policemen to be deployed on our streets. We need visible policemen, and he is the Minister of Police. He needs to do something to ensure South Africa is a safer country to visit and communities feel safe.
More worrying, Liesl, is that some people who have been kidnapped have also been killed. At least 6 have been reportedly killed over the past year. What is the mood within the business community?
You know, fear. Because the business community now say, am I going to be next? Am I going to be the one? You know, and that is why they are resorting to paying protection fees as much as 200,000 at times. And that is not fair for a businessman to now have to worry about his safety, yet he is creating jobs, yet he is contributing to the economy of this region. It is not fair. And we need our Minister of Police, Becky Cele, together with his commissioners, to come up with a backup plan. It is not fair that our business community have to live in fear.
Having covered this issue quite extensively back in Cape Town, one understood that the issue was the foreign nationals have been targets. Is it the same here?
Yes, absolutely. You know, foreign nationals have been targeted, but it's not only them. Maybe 50 or 70% of them, but now it's even our South African business people that are being targeted. You know?
Liesl, the other issue here, we know that there are possible criminal syndicates who are working with possibly people from the SAPS. Are politicians also involved, perhaps?
You know, I wouldn't doubt that, because our country has been, you know, plagued with corruption. You know, so this has become easy money for crime syndicates, because somebody that is fearing for their life, they're fearing for the life of their family, they're definitely going to look for that ransom money. So it's become too easy. It's an easy money-making scheme, you know, so I won't put that past them. But whoever is involved, whether it be politicians, whether it be judges, whether it be corrupt policemen, the full might of the law must be upon them.
Liesl, to my understanding, some of these kidnappings have been as of a result of business people reluctant to pay extortion fees. What advice will you give them?
You know, it's what value do you put to your own life is the question to that, you know. So if you are able to pay and you are in a position to pay, you know, pay up. You know, don't let your family sit without their breadwinner just because you do not want to pay up. Your life is more valuable than 1 million and 2 million. And unfortunately, these crime syndicates know this, and that is why they're taking full advantage of it. We condemn this practice as the Border-Kai Chamber of Business. We condemn it to its fullest, and it needs to stop.
In terms of the foreign nationals that have been targeted, are we seeing a mass exodus of people leaving the country due to this?
Not really, but there are. You know, South Africa is a lovely country. It's a beautiful country. They're comfortable. They do business comfortably here. And that is why instead of leaving the country, they rather look for that money to pay those protection fees. And that's why those protection fees has just increased from maybe 10,000 Rand. It's now become 50, maybe 100, maybe 200,000, depending on the value of the business. But it's just increased and increased. And because of that, you know, we don't see the mass exodus. But I mean, people are looking. People are looking, and we don't want to lose investment for our country. Investment creates jobs, you know, so no, we haven't really seen that trend. We just see that people are paying more and more protection fees.
My worry, though, Liesl, is that this has become so brazen. I mean, these criminals, they walk into people's shops, regardless of whether there is CCTV footage. They don't care. I mean, I've obtained quite a lot of these images. What are the hawks saying?
Sure. You know, some of these people are even involved. You know, you don't know who to trust anymore. And I'm sure they too fear for their own lives. You know, it's so we haven't really had any interaction with them as yet. But we'd love to know the same question. What are they saying? And that is why we say to Minister Bekele, please, sir, do your job. You know, protect our country to its fullest, protect our business people, because without business people making a profit, they cannot create jobs. You know, we depend on the Ministry of Police to ensure that this country is safe. You know, we saw it from the looting. Nothing happened to those people who were directly responsible for the attempted insurrection. Nothing happened up to today. You know, we're still waiting for that. But now it's the syndicates that have just gone. Crime syndicates have really become brazen, as you say. You know, lawlessness has increased, and that is because we don't have an effective policing system in our country. Our police that are there they're not as fit as they should be. You know what I'm saying? So really, that is one ministry that needs more budget. It needs more resources. We need more deployment. Go to any Arab country and see how visible the police are there. We need to learn from other countries that have their policing, that have the safety and security of their citizens at heart, and learn from them. Deploy more resources. I say to our Minister of Finance, Mr. Enoch Godongwana, find money. We need more police on our streets. We need more visible policing. Do whatever you can to turn South Africa into a safer country, to attract more tourism as well.
Let's touch a bit on the issue again of foreign nationals. I'm led to believe that the people who seem untouchable at this stage are the Somalians, because they are heavily armed. Is this the right way to go?
What do you do when you need to protect yourself? You know, what do? You're going to do whatever you can. And if that is arming yourself, if that is getting a firearm, if that is going to, you know, these where they train you on how to use pistols, then they're going to do that. Because you know what has happened and why that has resulted? It's because there's no effective policing system. If our citizens of this country felt confident in our policing system, let me tell you, they are not going to go buy guns because they would have confidence in our policing system. But because they don't, they are going to go buy themselves guns because they know they need to protect themselves at all cost. It's their families, it's their businesses, it's their livelihood at stake, and they're going to do whatever they can.
More painfully was learning of the deaths of two people. One was a shop owner, 57-year-old woman, and a shopkeeper in her late 20s. They were killed. Their bodies were set alight and the bodies were also dismembered. Shocking incident in Ngecha.
Sure.
What do we know at this stage?
I don't know much about that and if there's any arrest been made at this stage, but that is completely unacceptable that innocent people are now having to suffer. It's no more just the business owner, it's the entire staff. And you must remember, people that are employed have families that they feed. So if they are going to be impacted because it's not safe, you know, more and more people would rather say, look, it's not safe anymore. You know, let me rather look for other avenues and other opportunities to protect my family. You know, so once again, I stress, something big needs to be done. Something big needs to happen. And it needs to start from the top, which is the Ministry of Police.
Liesl, before I let you go, I know you have to go to church. In terms of the last kidnapping, we know that a ransom was firstly demanded of 5 million rand. We are led to believe that it's gone down to 2 million.
Yes.
What are the chances of people who are being kidnapped in this region, of them coming back to their homes?
Sure, they'll come back, I think, you know, but this time they are going to make sure that they are doubly protected. You know, if they were slack at one stage as to how they were, you know, now you're going to have to look back at your shoulder every single time because that's a traumatic experience. You know, that businessman now has to come back, be reintegrated into his normal life. Let me tell you, he is going to look back over his shoulder. He's going to get security guards. He's maybe going to even have private security, you know, and because of this scourge of lawlessness, private sector security is booming at the moment. But that's because our policing system hasn't been effective. And I think we pay a lot of tax as South Africans. And those taxes are supposed to pay for our protection as well. It is extremely unacceptable that our policing system is slack. And because of that, that's result in extortion. It's resulted in all other crime, the construction mafia. It's resulted in murder rate has increased, gender-based violence. All other crimes have escalated because our policing system has been ineffective. Once again, I appeal to our Minister, Bekitele, please, sir, you know, if you are not able to do your job effectively, step aside and let somebody else take over from you. Thank you.
Liesl, thank you so much indeed for your time. We really appreciate it. Well, the message loud and clear, Marcel, urging the police minister to ensure that business people are protected. I mean, the scourge here in the Eastern Cape it's huge. I mean, the vast province that we are in, a lot of these attacks. We also heard reports in April of at least 3 kidnappings per day taking place. So certainly cause for concern.